All right. Hey, Ricardo. Welcome back, buddy.
Mike.
How you doing, man?
You.
Good to see you.
In there. Yeah.
Recovering. Ricardo's been a little under the weather.
Yeah. It's
but he brought some
yeah.
stuff to cure the flu.
How is it?
It's good. We got some Avery IPA. Giving Avery IPA out of Colorado. Free plug. It's pretty good stuff. Cheers to all of you out there at Super Fun Happy Land. I hope it's super fun and super happy for you.
Yeah.
I know that it's not for most of us right now. But if you're having a lot of super fun and you're super happy, then we're super happy for you.
Yeah.
Because the rest of us are kind of feeling like this is kind of a little more like super crappy. You know, I don't know who's getting sick of it yet or not. I don't know. Maybe y'all are having a good time.
Yeah.
It seems like everybody I speak with is not having a very good time, though.
You know,
and it doesn't really matter.
If I care to follow the news more, it's like I've been miserable every fucking day. But it's like
that's why I've kind of developed an attitude of just kind of like making fun of it and laughing at it.
Yeah.
But yet it's still irritating and annoying. And that's why I made that list up. I made a list up of things that annoy me. And I thought maybe we'll just start with that. I don't know if it's going to be funny or not, but we all have our pet peeves.
Yeah.
Like, what's one of your pet peeves? Like, think about like at the liquor store where you work. You've got to have some pet peeves in there. There's got to be things that you just go, where you're like trying to keep your happy face, but inside you're just going,
I don't know. It's just funny how I work there Sunday morning, so everyone comes in and they're like, "Oh my God, thank God it's you and it's not Mike." It's like,
not Mike.
I mean, it's not John, and it's like, fuck. What the fuck do you have against John? And it's like, oh, he's a fucking asshole. It's like, okay, I get it, but
yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I've gotten him to lighten up a little bit. You know, I mean, but not much.
Yeah, no.
I was in there the other night, and I said, well, isn't it good to be alive and well in Coyote, Wyoming? And he kind of snickered, and I was like, shit, I think you just laughed a little bit, you know.
No, it's funny because today I went in to get the beers, and I'm like, hey, where is John? And they're like, oh, he called in earlier today. And I was like, oh, fuck, they're going to call me in. And I go in to check with my boss, and she's like, no, you're good. Just go home. And I was like, wait, you don't have John. Who are you going to send? She's like, I don't care, but we need you for the weekend. So it's like,
well, that's cool.
I guess it makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, at least they didn't say, no, you need to get back there right now. That's the fucking danger of going into your job on your days off.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That can backfire on you big time.
Yeah.
That can really get you. I remember when we were in high school, we thought there was this guy that was an officer here, and he was a dick. And so we're sitting there at the gas station one night, and he goes flying by, and he's got one headlight out, and us being dumbass kids, and we're like, let's go fucking pull him up on that. So we pull up to the police station where he's pulling in, and we get out, and we're like, hey, so and so, I'm not gonna say his name, but we're like, dude, you got a headlight out, and he looks and he goes, hey, are you Mike File? And so-and-so, he knew my buddy's name, and we're like, oh, shit. And he's like, I need to talk to you guys. And we're like, oh, crap. We just went and just put ourselves on blast. We thought we were being smartasses and funny, and next thing you know, we're in there getting questioned about. There was a cheerleader's car that was parked behind the school, and they went on a fucking sports trip, and somebody siphoned the gas, and he thought we did it. I'm like, are you kidding me? And this was back when gas was like under $1 a gallon. I'm like, I've never siphoned anybody's gas, and and he's like, well, somebody told. He was just making it up.
Yeah,
he was just fishing, but it was like we didn't have anything to do with it. But it's kind of one of those deals where you go and put yourself out there thinking it's funny. Yeah. So people don't ever, don't pull over a cop, and don't go into work on your day off.
Oh no,
it was like Friday. How are you gonna get fired on your day off?
Yeah.
You might end up having to work. I've had that happen. I've gone in, I'm like, I've worked in bars and stuff and go in, think, oh, I've got the day off. I'm just going to go ahead and have a beer and chill out, and you go in and they're like, we're short-handed. Can you, you're like, oh man, no. Why did I do this? So, well, you've got to have, there's got to be people that come in there that are like locals that that come in like probably on a daily basis, right?
Yeah.
That do things that are annoying.
Yes.
Such as? What's like the top Ricardo pet peeve? Questioning you when you're out of something.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
that's got to be a battle. Yeah.
It's like, do you even see that we have it in the store? It's like, do you mind checking in the back whether you have some? It's like,
You know exactly what's
what
back
makes
there.
you think that we have some in the back? It's like,
Yeah, and now I have it on the
Yeah.
floor, and you don't have that big of a back room in there anyway. I mean,
but it's like, yeah,
this is showing we got a slow bit rate going here. I wonder what's up with that. Wonder if we got something turned. I don't know.
I have no idea.
Who knows? I think everything's probably just fine because
Yeah.
I'm not showing anything down here. I mean, we've missed out of 6,400 frames. We've missed 17 at a 0.3%. So
Yeah,
I don't think that's too bad.
no,
I mean, we are going a little bit higher on average time to render the frames, which I don't quite understand that.
yeah, no,
But this is the time of night too that everybody's on the internet, so
yeah,
that's what sucks. Hopefully, and I can see we have a little bit of a lag. Anyway, hopefully it all comes together.
No,
It comes out fine. We don't sound like a bunch of ass clowns. I mean, it says live on the stream that we've got 0.
yeah,
So, yeah, I think we're good. So anyway, I'm going to go through the things that annoy me. And I made 20 of them here. And, the first one, here's the thing that this one, I hate this, is when you show up and somebody asks you to take your shoes off when you go inside.
Oh my God.
That shit drives me fucking
Yeah.
bananas. I don't
It's
know
like,
why.
If I want to take my shoes off, I'll take them off.
Right.
You don't have to remind me.
I don't
It's
know
like,
what's on your floor, and and I don't walk around. If I'm tracking shit, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna come in and stomp it in your house. Like if I know I got muddy boots and I show up at your house, I'm gonna take them off before I come in your home.
Oh yeah,
I'll take them off and leave them on the porch. But I mean, I take care in what I'm walking around in. I don't stand in piss. And I hate that too. That's another
Yeah.
annoyance is dudes who can't pee in the urinal. What is wrong? What is wrong here? I mean, there's always
Yeah.
a puddle of piss under the urinal.
Yeah.
Or they pee on the seat, and it's just like, dude, come on now.
it's like.
Are you a little boy
yeah.
or what? Grow up.
It's like,
I mean,
how do you miss the urinal? It's like,
yeah, I don't know, man.
even if I try, it's like I just can't
Yeah, I
do
mean,
it.
that's why it's got the little thing out, the little cup thing, I mean, it's like, I mean, I can see it, you're a little kid or whatever, but I mean, an airport.
Yeah.
The airport urinals, those are the ones that go all the way down to the ground, and there's still piss all over everything. I mean, it's like, what in the hell is wrong, dudes? Come on,
No,
man, get it
I
together.
agree.
But the thing is, too, though, is the female restroom is 10 times nastier than the men's room. Haven't been a bartender, man, and you go in the
my
ladies'
God.
room after a Saturday night. Whoa. Dude, it can get bad in there. Anyway,
Oh,
I'm getting
no.
off of it. So, number 2 that annoys me is when people ask if you're staying busy. I hate that.
Yes. Oh
Hey,
my
how
God.
you doing? You staying busy?
It's like, can't you see that I'm working my butt off? And the only reason I stopped is because you walked in the liquor
Yeah.
store. And
Or
now I have
anywhere,
to take
yeah.
your fucking order. It's like,
Oh, I used to go to like my ex-wife's family stuff, and that was the question I would get from everybody. Like, you staying busy? I'm like, no,
yeah.
I got nothing to do. I don't do anything. I just sit around the house and drink
No,
beer all day.
let me say that I thought that last Saturday I was gonna get so pissed because there were these 5, they were like probably 24, 25-year-old from the East Coast who walked in there,
Yeah.
and they're like, I swear they took half an hour to do their shopping, and I was like, what the heck are they looking at? It's like they're just wasting my time.
Yeah. What do you?
I
I mean,
was wrong because they ended up spending $400. So,
no, that's
so it
something,
was a good sale. It was
right? How much of that did you get?
nothing.
Yeah. Just get your wage.
Yeah.
That's
But it was a good sale, so
Sure.
it's like,
but you're not going to get a hand up for any of
yeah,
that.
it's fine.
Yeah. I mean, that's what sucks about working like retail and shit. Though.
Yeah,
I mean, I don't know. That's why I don't know. That's what sucks about like your fucking Walmarts and these big box stores. I mean, to work in a place like that. I mean, I don't know, man. Of course, you guys are getting more money, but inflation is through the roof. So
Oh, my
really, are
God.
you really getting more money? I mean,
Nope.
your money's not going nearly as far as it used to when you're
Yeah.
getting paid less. So you're really kind of losing money
yeah,
if you look at it correctly. And the way that they count inflation now is not like they did 40 years ago.
Yeah.
So, I mean, really, we wouldn't be at whatever it is now, 8.6?
I mean,
It's just going to keep going up, too, because there's
yeah,
these idiots
It's like they can't even agree on something, and then it's like,
well, and then they decide to do these sanctions and all this on Russia. Well, the ruble is the highest performing currency on the planet, and the Brazilian real is second behind that. I don't know where we rank with the dollar on the list, but what we did was we gave Russia the okay to go off the petrodollar.
Yeah.
Because they have the oil. So dipshit shuts down our oil industry and then says we're going to boycott theirs and sanction everything. Well, people still need the oil. China's the biggest consumer of oil on the planet. And they need to have it.
Yeah.
So now Russia has overtaken everybody as far as being China's supplier of oil.
Yeah.
And they just said, hey, you just have to pay us in rubles. Well, what's that do to the ruble? I was looking at buying rubles last night. I was like, oh, maybe I just need to. I mean, I don't know. I mean,
oh my God.
It's like, I mean, this guy it's just like he's trying to ruin us. I mean, you can't just stop producing the thing that we need the most. I mean, you got to look at what matters. Like that's another problem in this country is people. It's so easy to get away from what matters.
Yeah,
we want to fight about this, that, and the other fucking thing. What bathroom to use and this and that, and just what we're offended about. Well, it's like what matters. Like food matters, right? Food is probably the most important thing. All right, shelter matters. Yep, staying warm in the wintertime, especially out here. We don't have a lot to worry about during the summer, but during the wintertime, we need to stay because you're going to be in trouble if you live out here and you can't stay warm. And so staying warm, that's energy, and it's going to come from either coal or natural gas or something coming out of the ground. It's not coming out of, I mean, there's a lot of hot air coming out of Onion Head's mouth, but I don't even know. He's half dead, so it might not be that hot. And then you've got, your transportation, and I mean, education for your kids, obviously that falls in there somewhere along the way, but that's not, I mean, I'm talking essentials, that what matters.
Yeah.
And to get what matters, then obviously the way the system's set up is that you have to work one way or another, whether you're self-employed, employed by somebody else. And that's where the jobs come in. And the thing is that the people that are making the calls, they don't have anything they have to worry about.
No.
As far as just your basic essentials, like anybody that's in Congress, anybody that's in politics, they really don't. This inflation doesn't hit them, maybe a little bit, but they've still got fat bank accounts.
Yeah.
Look at how much Biden's worth. I mean, like I've said, and I've been saying this for like the last 3 weeks, that he should not be allowed to fly an Air Force One anymore unless he's the one putting the fuel in there.
Yeah.
That motherfucker is $250,000 just to fly that thing. And along with it comes all the fighter jets, the plane of doom. Who knows where that thing's at right now? We can look it up. You can look it up and actually see where it's at. But it's in the air quite a bit. I mean, they've got a whole war room in there. I mean, it's quite impressive. And then they're trying to make new ones now. And Biden was upset with Trump's plan for the new Air Force One because it had a little bit of extra paint on the exterior because he wanted to make it like a red, white, and blue or whatever.
Oh my God.
And it's like, dude, are you shitting me? I mean, that motherfucker goes to Delaware every weekend and then falls down on his bike. So anyway, we're going to number 3 now. Number 3 that annoys me is grown men with 3rd grade haircuts. I hate that. Dude, what is that shit, man? I watch some of these guys on these newscasts, and these guys are, I mean, they on purpose, it's like grow it out or shave it off. Or just, or slick it back or something. But you come out there and you got that faux thing it's on purpose messy,
Yeah.
And it's kind of miskept and it's all spiky in the front and and then it's got like dye in it. And it's like, dude, you're a grown ass man. What, Yeah. The guy looks like a 3rd grader on the first day of school. He looks like one of the Facebook posts that these mothers put out there the first day of school every year. That annoys me too. I'm gonna put that. That's an add-on right there. People that put the first day of school pictures of their kids out on social media, you're annoying as fuck. And you know what you're doing too? Most of you have your location tagged. And so what you're doing is you're putting a location of your cute little kids going to school and where you live for all those fucking dirtbags out there to fucking see. So think about that this year on first day of school, that maybe you shouldn't be putting your kids out there like that with your location, because if your kid's inside got an iPad or a little computer, anything going that's feeding off the internet, and these dirtbags, they can see it all.
Yeah.
They can. And so you're putting your kids on blast. So, hey, and this is mostly women who do this. Okay, I'm not being sexist or anything, but let's go and look at first day of school posts on social media.
Yeah.
It's female. It's the mothers that are so proud of the shopping that they've done, and look how cute little Tristan and these goofy Kevin and Kevin. I thought it was always Kevin. Any of the names that end in the IN.
Yeah.
And I don't know about, there's a lot of girls' names out there that are kind of screwy too. But that's an add-on. That's an additional one for you folks. The other one that I've always annoyed me is being a construction worker. I've always had bosses that like, say you're framing a building up and hey, why don't you go ahead and real quick, whatever it is that they want you. So you got to drop everything and then go ahead. Really why don't you go ahead and? I used to always, if guys would say that to me, I'd go, "Why don't you go ahead and real quick?"
Yeah,
and they'd look at me like, "What?" It's like, would you like me to do this? Or I'm not going to go ahead and real quick. You're not going to
take me 20 hours. It's like
I'm not going to sprint across the job site to go ahead and real quick. It just after, and dudes get used to it. Like anytime when I'd go work a new job with a new crew, I would always pick that off and start making fun of it. And it was amazing the guys that had been working there for years, like the old timers and shit, they'd never even thought about it. And they would say it to you as well. Like you'd be a new guy, and so there'd be like some guy that was, he'd been on the crew for 20 years. And why don't you go ahead and go get me that sheet of 3/4 inch CDX real quick? And I look at him and go, why don't you go ahead and real quick? And I was like, why do you guys say that? That shit annoys me.
Yeah.
That's an annoyance. But if you haven't worked construction, but people say that all the time. And I hate that real quick shit. I hate, why don't you real quick? Fuck you. Why don't you real quick shut the fuck up,
Yeah.
The other thing that's an annoyance to me is toilet paper underhandedly rolled.
Hold on, just quickly. Let me say that.
Real quick.
I used to say that when I used to work in Maryland.
Yeah.
And I used to laugh because I was like, fuck, that really quick is going to take like 2 days. Yeah, and then they'd all be complaining 2 days later because it's like, dude, that was not a really quick.
That was not real quick.
It's like, and I was like, well, I mean, someone had to do it. It's like.
Yeah. I don't know. That's one that just, I started working construction at a young age, but it was like by the time I was like 21 or so, that had definitely worn its course. And I know that as an owner of a company, I never ever said that to anybody. If I needed somebody to pull off what they were doing and go do something else and say, "Hey, I'd like you to stop this. Come with me. I'll show you what I need you to do." And I mean, that real quick shit. It's like, because there's nothing that happens real quick. I mean, if you get pulled off what you're doing on a job, you've already got it set up and everything like that. So then you leave that just asunder, and then you run off and I'm gonna real quick it, and then you get into something completely else that you have to set up for, and it's nothing real quick.
No.
So that one bothers me. And then underhanded toilet paper. I mean, it's got to be dispensed over the top. And I wish I had the meme, because there was one that somebody put out a few years ago, and it said, "Here's why you put the toilet paper on overhand," and the picture was looking up underneath, and the square was hanging down and there was a big ass spider on it. So I mean, I was like, yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's just something that bothers me about that. Maybe I'm not that OCD. Number 6, religion and religious people.
Oh my God.
They annoy me. Both. Religion annoys me, and religious people are annoying.
Let me say that working at Walmart, thankfully I don't talk about religion a lot, but there's some people who come in on Sundays who love talking about religion, and I'm like, dude, just get out. It's like...
Well, they just gone to church and got all fired up.
Exactly. And then they come in and to buy a beer, and then it's like, they want to have a half-an-hour conversation with you about why you should be in church, and it's like, no, I don't care. I don't give a fuck. I'm working.
That whole concept. It's like, you want to go to church? Fine. I don't care. Go to church, but whatever. But don't. Just don't. Don't get me involved. I don't want to hear about it. And I mean, I was watching a video from a guy earlier today, and it was some motorcycle repair video, and I was really gaining enjoyment out of it. And then I didn't know the video was about over. I was just listening while I was working on something, and then he started reading Bible verses. I mean, I went flying across the shop and just was like, I mean, don't read me the Bible. You're not helping. You're not converting it. You just lost maybe somebody giving you a like and maybe subscribing to your dirt bike channel by quoting scripture at me. I mean,
it's so annoying.
I'm not saying that you can't have it. You go ahead, have your beliefs, have your religion, but just don't put it on other people.
Exactly.
It's not your job to
come in here
to
to a liquor store and then try to convince the
guy while you're buying booze.
It's like, no.
That's what I love too. When you get people that are drunk that start talking religion, it's like, dude, you're fucking hammered, man.
Yeah.
And you're gonna sit here and tell me about Jesus? It's
Yeah,
like, no,
it's like, no.
dude, negative. That shit drives me nuts. But
Yeah.
I mean, Edward Abbey had one of the best quotes ever. He said, "The missionaries go forth to Christianize the savages, as if the savages weren't dangerous enough already." I mean, true story.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
Oh
it's just the whole concept of religion is just, I believe in the man.
No.
The magic man. But your magic man is not the same as mine. So
Yeah, no.
you're fucked and I'm not. I'm sanctimonious and you're screwed.
It's like, what?
You got
what?
Ganesh, the elephant. Fuck you. I
It's
got
like,
I
what?
got Jeebus and the Holy Spirit, and they're all three
No.
the same and not the same.
No, it's like, fuck off. That shit doesn't matter.
Yeah, and Jesus went to Philadelphia according to the Book of Mormon. You know, and it's like, what? Well, this is weird.
Oh my God.
You're following around a guy that saw the seeing stones in his hat that no one else could see. I mean, nothing. Like I always said, I love the Mormons. I mean, seriously, I do. I like Mormon people. I think they're great people.
No,
And I'm always willing to engage in conversation with them as well when it comes to these things, because I think that it always turns out to be like the conversation is done and they're like, wow, I never thought of it that way.
yeah.
And a lot of people don't. I think they're inundated with things from the time they're a young person, and if they don't get a chance.
But you know what makes me laugh at Mormons is like they tell you, I never thought about it that way, and then the next day they wake up and it's like back to the same old.
Right. Well, and then, you know, I mean, they don't have the
Yeah.
it's a pretty involved religion too. I mean, you know, doing all the work that I've done on those churches, I mean, there's always somebody in there.
Yeah.
There's always somebody there.
Oh
It doesn't
God.
matter. And I mean, they were always very suspicious of me. I mean, I was like, "Who are you?" I'm like, "I'm the guy taking care of the painting here." Well, like, then I call somebody, you know, and then some other, you know, you have somebody that comes in, some dude comes in, you know, and he's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And I was like, give him the number of the guy that I got, you know, I was like, call this guy, he's the head of everything, you know, and okay, you check out. Oh, thank you. Thank you, guy I've never talked to that didn't have any name on any of the paperwork that I signed. And I mean, to get a job with them, it's a litany of fucking, I mean, you're talking, I mean, stacks and stacks.
Yeah.
I mean, but anyway, yeah. So religion, you know, and I don't like people that say, "Well, I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual." I'm spiritual.
Like,
you get that from females all the time. I'm not religious, but I'm spiritual.
No.
I love the outdoors
No,
and
it's like,
Bambi, and I like a good crossword puzzle.
It's like, man, just grab your booze and take off.
Yeah,
It's
I'm
like
not
they're
religious,
not
but I'm
clients,
spiritual.
so it's like,
Okay,
no,
great. Sit there and go, oh, whatever it is. I mean, that shit's annoying. All right, so where are we at here? Here's the other thing I don't like, or that's annoying, is the show Friends and people who watch Friends. You guys are on the... You're out. Let's see, number 8 is white people celebrating Cinco de Mayo.
Yes. Oh my God, that's so true.
They don't even understand.
They don't even know what Cinco de Mayo is about.
I know.
It's like the Battle of Puebla. And it's like...
Right, and I
they look
said
at you
that,
like, isn't it Mexican Independence? And it's like,
No.
no.
I said that this year off the cuff. I did a Cinco de Mayo episode this year. I don't think you were here, but I said, I was, the Battle of Puebla, and I ran the whole thing down and how it was, who it involved, and I didn't know if I was right. I couldn't remember if I was right or not. I thought I was because I had taken enough Mexican history classes and shit, and I was right on the money. But yeah, Cinco de Mayo drives me nuts, man. And especially when I was younger and partying all the time. There'd always be these idiots. Hey, it's Cinco.
Yeah, it's
let's go have a margarita.
Yeah, and it's like,
and you end up with a bunch of
celebrating?
Yeah, you got a bunch of dumb white drunk chicks that are like, it's Cinco. Oh my God, drunkard and shit. And you're like, it's Mexican Independence Day. It's like, no, you're fucking dumb. It's gonna be the Dia de los Muertos pretty soon, And it's like, be fucking idiots. That bothers me. Here's the other holidays that bother me: Christmas, Easter, Halloween, New Year's, the 4th of July. I like Thanksgiving. I like Thanksgiving because there's no gifts involved. There's no grandstanding. There's no haberdashery. It's like, let's get together with the family. Let's have a big meal, and let's just all be thankful that we're all together.
Yeah.
I like Thanksgiving. I think that that's a good holiday. There's anything that involves gifts and spending a shitload of money on anything other than like food and I mean, sitting around with your family and eating till you fall asleep and drinking a little bit or whatever. I'm down with that.
Yeah.
But and then the Halloween, I mean, come on. I mean, it's dress. I mean, and then there's the old people that celebrate it too. That's even worse.
Oh yeah.
People that are older, you know,
Yeah.
and especially when you're like, you know, you're talking about like 20s and even like 30s, you know. I mean, I dressed up for Halloween once.
Yeah.
You know, Tyler and I did that back in the day. We dressed up like the dude and Walter Sobchak from The Big Lebowski.
Nice.
And I think we won a $50 bar tab that night, but we realized that there was a bar tab that was going to be given out, and we were just sitting around the house and we saw a bunch of crap laying around. I was like, dude, we could just dress up like the dude and Walter Sobchak, you know, and we did. And
you won.
And that was about the only time I think I ever did that. So yeah, I don't like holidays except Thanksgiving. It's cool. And then I don't know if there's, what else do we got? Easter? No.
No.
What else we got? President's? No.
You know, let me say that I actually enjoyed Father's Day this year because I
Did you?
got to go out with my wife without kids.
Yeah, I had a nice time
So
too. I went to
it
my
is
mom's
like-
and she made a lot of good food, and we had an enjoyable time. That was good.
Yeah.
But it wasn't like
was
the
so
whole
nice.
day.
Yeah.
It wasn't like a build up to it. I
Yeah.
mean, you know, like Christmas, man, especially, you know, that. I mean, I don't know how many you spend $3,000 to $5,000,
Yes.
and then you gotta set up for it. I'm out there on
Yeah.
a ladder putting up fucking lights on the house, and I gotta take them down and package them up and take them under the house, and then I gotta take the tree and fucking fold it up, and you know, and spend all this money, and then the kids, they open everything and they just fling it around, break it within a day.
And then
they run off,
all
and
the
then you're
mess
sitting there.
It's
Yeah,
like-
you're sitting there, and you woke up early for no reason at all. You didn't probably sleep the night before because
Yeah.
you were up still wrapping fucking presents. And what is that for? Here's the day you just get all kinds of shit for nothing, you know.
Yep.
And I mean, I don't even really think I liked it too much as a kid, you know. And then the whole lie about that's Jesus' birthday. Well, guess what? I tell you what, I'd like to talk to old Joseph and see what he thought about it, because that dude. I mean, come on. What? I mean, either way you look at it, he's a cuck.
Yeah. No, but
I mean,
it's
either
like-
somebody else stuck it in her, or you know, they say, "Well, what's the Mac? Oh, well, God just brought out his space dick." And I mean, you know, you're talking about the virgin. No, she wasn't no fucking virgin. It's just it's biology. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. It doesn't work like the guy in the sky. It doesn't come. I mean, there's some stories like that in Greek mythology too, where, you know, because Zeus supposedly was the father of Hercules, you know. But just no. No, it's just not the thing. I mean,
It's not viable.
and then the whole thing is, you know, God's up there, you know, and then like, talking about people that died. He's in a better place. Well, why are we sitting here? Why are we all sitting here feeling bad?
Yeah.
If they're in a better place, then
It's like, and they're in a better place, yet
it's just
they didn't follow the commandments or they didn't do anything.
Oh,
and
the
then,
commandments. Yeah, don't
Then
go on
they
that.
just immediately are in a better place. It's like, wait, and I have to follow the commandments for what reason? It's like, fuck.
Oh man, there was a Family Guy where, you know, because they have clips with Jesus on there sometimes, and Jesus. So in this one clip, Jesus' kid comes back from school, and he's just sitting there like reading the paper and looks up and he's like, "What's wrong with you?" You know, and the kid's like, "Oh, somebody laughed at me." He's like, "Oh, is that as bad as your day got? Oh, I'm so sorry." You know, and then, you know, he said something about, you know, "Oh, you think that was, you know, you think you got it rough with your, think about what my dad did," you know, or something like that, you know, and it's like, anyway. Yeah, so the holidays, that's annoying.
Yeah.
And number 10, that's going to piss a bunch of people off, but soccer annoys the shit out of me. It's annoying.
No, I can take soccer.
I just, it's annoying, and women's sports is annoying too.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Okay, no, yeah, women's sports is annoying. Soccer
Women's
I don't
soccer
know.
has become especially annoying.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, the whole, we deserve to get paid as much as the men. Well, when you sell as many tickets as the men do, when you make as much income, I mean, your pay in anything should be based on, I mean,
However
if you're a
much
soccer
income
player,
you
you're
can make.
basically an
Yeah.
employee. So whatever you bring in, then you're you know, you should have a rightful claim to a certain portion of that.
Yeah.
I mean, the men's team, even with as bad as they suck, and I don't ever watch them, but they're pretty shitty from what I understand. But they still put asses in the seat.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, ladies, I'm not being, again, I mean, there's a reason we got the WNBA and the NBA. I mean, there would not be anybody from the WNBA playing in the NBA.
No.
And you know, and that goes into, I mean, you know, you go into that whole thing, that you go down that rabbit hole and it can get really ugly. So we're not going to go down that.
Oh my God.
Gymnastics is annoying. I'm sorry. Gymnastics is annoying.
Yes, it is.
Especially during the Olympics, you know. I mean,
Oh my God.
they're all whispering. Oh God.
No, it's like so because then you have to sit there for like 50 gymnastic competitions that all look exactly the same. It's like fuck.
Well, and they're all I mean, for the most part, they're midget people. You know, I mean, to be able to do that, you got to be like undersized, super short. I mean, who knows? I mean, and the things that those people go through growing up. I mean, that's it. That's life. It's like every 4 hours they just like I mean, okay, number 13 on the list is Republicans. I don't like you guys. Number 14 on the list, Democrats.
Yeah.
You can go eat a bag of shit too. Both of you all can. All you can. Bye. Piss off. Piss up a rope. Number 15, that dude that brags about his sexual exploits. I cannot stand that guy that talks about it. Yes. Hey, what'd you do? What'd you do last night, Brad?
Oh, no.
I got laid, man. You know, it's like, no, you didn't.
Yeah.
You went home and you jerked off to the Sears catalog. I hate that. Those guys that just have to tell everybody about it. And you're like, dude, you know, it's one of those things where if you have to say you're something, then you're not. If you have to say you isn't. Chances are.
Yeah.
You know, that shit drives me nuts. 16, obviously, thieves and bad liars. I got no place for them.
Yeah.
17, people who can't drive. These people that think that they don't have to use their turn signal.
Oh my God.
That drives me nuts. People that run, like the light's obviously red and you're getting ready to pull out and they just fucking
run it.
You can see they're going to run it and you're like, shit. And they go flying by.
Yeah. And the light is clearly red and yet they run it. It's like.
And they're like the ones around the schools, like the school zones, right? I see that all the time. You have the like they've got the kiss and go line. The kiss and go line. Oh, it's the kiss and go line. And then in the meantime, these people are like, having fender benders out there yelling at each other. And then I love it. You got the mom that pulls up. She's still putting on lipstick. She's on the phone. She's like, get out, yelling at the kids. They get out. And then when she pulls back out onto the street where it's still 20, she's doing 40.
Yeah.
Hits the stop sign, doesn't let the kid cross the street that's trying to get across, and then almost gets in a wreck and then like flips somebody off and honks the horn and yells while she's, and you're going, where's the cops for this?
Yeah, exactly. It's like.
And they make everybody else's, everybody's going through the same experience. You're not, just because you didn't wake up 5 minutes earlier doesn't mean that you're more important than everybody else. But the thing is, they got to get up the street to the little mud hut to get their mocha frappuccini.
Yeah.
I love that place. You drive by there at like 5 after 8, and the line is going out to the street, and these people are all late for work, but they got to stop and get that shit. They'll take the demerit or whatever at work,
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, and that's also an annoyance, is the whole being to work on time.
Yeah.
Why? What's it fucking matter? I mean, who cares? I mean, how many people just work shitty cheese? I mean... Okay, we open at this time. This country is it's just like everything has got to be just, this time and that time. And if you don't do that, and working your hours every week. I mean, I've worked jobs where it's like, well, don't you want to get your 40? I'm like, no, if I did my work that you were asked me to do, I don't care. Yeah. I want to go and get out of here because I don't like being here. Yeah. I'm not just going to sit here and act like I'm doing something. That's so annoying to sit there and you just got to fucking look at the clock and it just starts slowing down. And you're just like, we're going to get out of here.
Hold on. It's like, it cracks me up because at Walmart, I arrive 10 minutes early every Friday and Saturday just so I can get money out of the main cash machine and put it in the cash register so I don't have to worry about that shit again.
What time is that place open on Friday or Saturday?
8 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you have people that are waiting?
Yes.
At 8 a.m.?
Yeah. But anyways, I arrived there at like 4:50 just so I can arrive 5 minutes early and pull money out of the cash register.
Jeez.
And there's cashiers who sit there and they're like, why are you pulling money out of the cash register? And I'm like, because I need it, because I need to do my job well.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, you're doing it out of the clock. And I'm like, I know. Is there anything else you want to say to me? It's like, which part of your brain doesn't understand that I'm doing this for free? It's like...
Yeah, and to make things go easier on you.
Yeah. And their mind is like, no, you're off the clock. You shouldn't be doing that. It's like, just fucking...
What would happen if you were to clock in 10 minutes early? Would you get in trouble?
No. But I still like to give them those 10 minutes just because I'm a nice guy, I guess. It's like...
Well, and it makes your day go easier, too.
Yeah.
I guess I should even ask about that because you don't work well, you do work the opening shift, what,
Sundays,
Yeah. Yeah, so you got to close and then open.
Yeah.
That's an annoyance too when you work a job where you have to close one night and then you got to open. Like I've had that with bars before where I close it down and then, you know, on like a Saturday night where the people, you're trying to get everybody out at 2 a.m. and you can't. And then you know, next day, Sunday, football day, and you're open at 10. Well, you get there and you got guys already parked outside and, you know, you're going in and there's still shit that needs to be cleaned up from the night before. And the kitchen didn't do the dishes and you're just like, shit, here we go again. Yeah, that's an annoyance. But yeah, the people who can't drive. They don't have any, you know, use your blinkers, people. Turn your goddamn blinker on, okay? Check your headlights and your tail lights once in a while. Like, you know, I check mine once, at least probably once a week.
Yeah.
Just walk around, have a look. It's not that difficult. And use your fucking blinkers. You know, Jesus Christ. And learn how a four-way stop works. People in this town do not. I mean, the worst place to be on a Monday morning at 8 a.m. is at a four-way stop in Cody, Wyoming, because
they cannot agree who goes. It's like
they don't understand the whole yield to your right concept.
Yeah.
And then the worst is when you're sitting there and you're looking at the person and they've stopped already when you're coming to a stop and they still sit there. And then they look at you and they give you the. You know, they wave you through and act
and
like
then you start accelerating and then they go and it's like
what
the
God,
fuck?
you just want to fucking just I mean, it's like good God. So that's a fucking annoyance. You know, it's like, you know, these people, it's like they or people that can't parallel park. If you can't parallel park, don't attempt it. Don't attempt it.
Yeah.
Just go off the side street and park someplace else.
Trust me, there'll be
or the dudes in this town that park in those angled places and they're driving a truck like mine. Like my truck is almost 23 feet long. I know that if I park on a side street and I park angled in, my truck is hanging out far enough into the lane that whoever's driving behind, you know, going behind my truck, they're gonna have to swerve over the line and put themselves in danger. So I don't park in those places.
Yeah.
It's like, and I hate that. People do that all the time, you know. In this town, it's just like, dude, you have a big ass truck. Part of that responsibility is like park it someplace where, you know, you're not going to put somebody else in harm's way. Here's another annoyance. People who use the self-checkout lane or the express lane at the store when they've got a full cart full of groceries and it's busy and they don't know how to use the self-checkout. That's the worst.
Like, oh, how do I weigh this?
Oh, God, it's always some big fucking fat lady and her fat-ass husband and their fat screaming kid. And neither one of them. What do you push?
Oh my God!
You know, and then you got the assistant, the helper, or whatever, has to go over there and try and explain it to him. It's like if you don't know how to. I mean, I go through that thing and it's like bleep 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 bleep.
Yeah,
I'm out. Peace. And I damn sure don't go through there with a cart full. I mean, if you got a cart full of groceries, guess what? You get to go to line number 12 at Walmart here.
Yep.
And the other night I was in there, man, and I had 10 minutes to make it over to the liquor store, and I get up there and the self-checkout, it's after the rodeo and it's full of there was like a busload of kids in there.
Yeah.
And so the fucking self-checkout was just fucking packed. You know, these kids are everywhere. I'm just like, fuck. And so I go through line, I look at 12 and there's a couple in front of me. They have one basket and I'm like, okay, cool.
Yeah.
I sat there for 8 minutes while that woman bullshitted with them. And I'm back there, I'm tapping my foot. I'm breathing loud. I'm groaning every time they're talking about this. And, I'm the only other one in line. And I'm like, you know, I don't want to sit here. They're like acting like I'm pretty.
Because you just caused me going to a liquor store.
Yeah, and so I get up there and it's like 11:50 or 10:58, and I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm in kind of a hurry. I've been waiting here, and I need to get over there. And the self checkout's full, and she's like, whoa, if you're in that big of a hurry, I guess we better really go then, you know. She rings me up, charges me $55, and I get like my juice. She hands me like my juice, and I'm like, I had more things than this. That doesn't seem right for juice. I'm like, no, that's not right for juice. Yeah. And then she like looks, you know, oh, there's my other bag, and I'm like, God. And so I skate in there, and of course see Mr. Sunshine.
Yeah.
And he's like back there, oh yeah, here comes this, you know, I'm skating in there with like 30 seconds to go, but I mean, he'd rather have me come in with 30 seconds to go.
Yeah.
Did somebody? He knows where I'm going. I'm going right here, right here. I got the bunny. Here we go. Yeah. But yeah, those are, and then, okay, number 20. People who not only respond LOL on text messages, but they also say it in real life.
Oh my God.
I hate that. I hate that LOL shit. It's like, what is it? LOL. LOL. Especially when a dude says it. It's like, no. Nope, I'm pulling your man card. No more LOL. Let's. I want to start a campaign about that right now. No more LOL. Let's banish LOL. Oh, wait, that's freedom of speech, right? Is not being allowed to use an acronym a infringement of your freedom of speech? It probably is. I don't know. I just can't stand it. Or when you write somebody a text message and you're trying to make an explanation of something and you've taken the time to, detail what, and then that's what you get for a response. It's like, what? It's like, right there that the person didn't read anything that you wrote.
Yeah.
And I don't know. Text messages suck. I'm too long-winded. So that's the list of annoyances.
So, Mike, did you like the IPA?
The IPA is very good. Yeah, it's tasty.
Let me give you the other one.
All right, Ricardo's going back to the fridge. I didn't even finish this one yet.
What?
Well, I'm not that fast of a beer drinker anymore. I used to be on the beer drinkers challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, we had that at one of the places I worked, and I was one of the first ones to do it. And it was like, I don't even know how many beers you had to drink in I think it was an hour. And I think it was 20 beers in an hour. And
this one, it's like,
all right, well, cheers.
cheers.
Salud. Oh, that's smooth.
Yep.
Well, now I've got 2 open beers. It's going to be one of those nights, folks. All right, well, on to the next.
What do you think?
I think that's good. It's nice. Neither of these are too hoppy.
Yeah.
That's what I don't like is that heartburn hoppy.
Yeah.
That shit's terrible. When it's like that heartburn where it's like,
Yeah.
you're like a cat with a hairball. You're like rubbing your head. Like, Jesus Christ, what is this shit? Gasoline? Horrible. Horrible.
God.
So, all right, I guess there's the annoyances list. Maybe we'll try and
Yeah.
do that. And I should probably offset that with things that make me happy.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's not a lot that makes anybody happy right now, I guess. What makes me, I like going out on my dirt bike and riding around and finding, like last night I found some really cool stuff. But I don't want to tell anybody about it because I'm greedy and it's mine. But,
You know, I actually like when all my kids go to bed and my wife goes to bed and it's like my house. It's like my place. And then,
and I was just, I was the same way in my younger, like I would just, if I felt like if I didn't go out and find out what was going on and wasn't the life of the party that I was missing something. Now, my idea of a Friday night is being out in my shop or being in the studio by myself and not having any interruptions and just doing my thing, whether it be researching, doing tattoos, building something out of wood out in the shop, doing some kind of work on a bike or a truck or something, and just not just being left alone. I mean, that's just like, that's perfect. I hear you, man.
Yeah, no, it's funny because before I was like always like, yeah, let's go to the bar, and like now I'm like, after the brain injury, it's like, fuck.
There's nothing going on at the bar that you're gonna miss either. Think about all those wasted nights that you spent all kinds of money, trying to be, Mr. Fun Time, and then you you wake up the next morning and you check your wallet and you're like, oh. And then your headache, oh. And you go into work, you're grumpy for half the day. And,
yes. Oh my God.
But then your stupid ass goes out and does it again the next night.
Yep. Exactly.
I mean, that's what's crazy, man. Is that I was stuck in that rut for a long time, but now, I mean, there's like one place in town I'll go, and it's maybe once a month, and I'll go in and have one beverage, and I'm out. Because you know what you run into in there? Are you staying busy, people?
Yeah.
I swear to God, that's always the first question I get. I sit down, say hi to my buddies or whatever, and then I have something, hey, man, you staying busy? It's like, you just fucked my night all up, man.
Yes. Oh my God.
I don't know if they ask that because they're not staying busy. Why is it important to anybody if you're staying busy? I don't care if you're staying busy.
Nope.
Have I ever asked you if you're staying busy?
Nope.
I don't care. That's nothing. That's your concern. That's not. I mean, if you want to be busy, be busy.
It's like today you were like, "Hey, Ricardo, it's nice to see you," and it's like, great.
I mean, staying busy.
You didn't ask me that, so it's like, I didn't tell you that I felt like shit for like the last week. So it's like, no.
Yeah. I mean, but the staying busy. Yeah, I just hate that. It's like when you come back for a class reunion, which I don't do anymore, but those ones too. What have you been up to? And I just make up lies, just goofy lies. Well, I've been robbing banks and I mean, just silly shit, And I don't know. I can't even remember some of the goofy lies at class reunions that I've made up. And it's a lie, but it's a funny lie.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's not the necessary lie, but it's just fun. It's fun to do. It's fun to mess with people sometimes, especially people that are just so fucking square and just, you know, they've done everything just right in life, and they went to school, they went to college and got in debt and had my 3.2 kids or 2.3 kids and have a minivan, and you know, and they're just miserable.
Yeah.
You know, they end up sleeping in different beds, and yeah, I don't know. Fuck a bunch of that. That's annoying.
I agree.
And then, yeah, I don't know. I could keep going, but I'm going to save some of these for another time.
Yeah, but it's so fucking annoying because it's like,
there's
just shut up. It's like,
yeah, you know, that's the thing. I tell people too. It's like, people that can't mind their business. It's just like, you know, you know, a guy I met in prison. That's what he used to always say. He said, "Mind your business, you'll live longer."
Yeah.
And there's nothing truer out there than that. Just mind your business. You don't got to be involved in what everybody else is doing. And it does, especially in this little podunk town. People always got to be involved. It's like they feel like if they have the down low, they got the dirt on somebody, and they can go out there and spread it all over town like the village idiot, the town crier, that they're somehow like their status is going to escalate.
Yep. Nope.
Quit looking at the fucking stupid thing online, the PSCO.crime graphics to see who got thrown in jail the night before. You're not going to come up by spreading somebody's name around town because they got falsely arrested.
Oh my God.
I mean, you shouldn't be thinking that it's a great thing to see people go to jail. Yeah. I'm sorry, you shouldn't.
No.
I don't care. Even people I don't like, unless it's somebody that goes in there and they're a fucking pedophile or a child rapist or rapos or murderers. Okay, that's a thing. But I'm still saying let's let them have their day in court before you put it all out over the internet. Let's let them go through the process, because people's lives are ruined by that shit. Because it doesn't matter, because no one ever says, they never print a retraction. They never say, well, so-and-so.
Yeah,
we know really we put
sorry,
and then your mug shot is always the worst picture on the planet. I mean, my buddy Tyler probably had one of the best ones I've ever seen, because he was just laughing. That's his mentality, though. He's just like, it's funny. I got to, he's laughing. Like everybody else is, they look like shit. Their hair's all disheveled. Maybe they got in a fight with the police and they got roughed up a little bit. Maybe they got tased, and then they take you in there and take you. Can you imagine having your photo taken after getting tased? God, no. And then they put it out there on the internet for everybody to see. And then you've got all the old bags in town are taking screenshots and sending it to their old bag friends, and it's like an old bag contest to see who can get on the PS, get on there first and
oh my God,
find out who got in trouble. Man, that's something that's just very. I mean, I look on there every once in a while, because if I got a friend that's like I haven't seen, it's like, I better check and see if motherfucker got jammed up with something, and I'll look and okay, he's not on there, but I just go and look for the name. I'm not going to sit there and open up, even if it's somebody else I know, I'm not going to look at that.
No.
I mean, it's not that I don't care. I just don't want to see it. I don't feel like that does anything good for them or for me, Or am I going to, then text it to everybody I know that knows that person. Look what so-and-so did. No. And then it's all a big texting circle, and everybody's gossiping. Well, one time when I knew him back in the day, he did this and that, and then, you're just running some poor dude's name around town, and he's having a hard enough time as it is. He just got tased. He got his picture taken after getting tased. He lost his pants, maybe a shoe. He doesn't know where his wallet is. I mean, and then
you've got to run his name.
Then he's getting run around town. He hasn't even gone to court yet. For all he got, maybe he was out walking his dog and he got hit by a fucking car and lost his shoe, and then his pants fell down, and maybe somebody saw that happen. He staggered around trying to find his pants and his shoe, and they figure he's drunk, and then he gets a public intox, and he gets tased while he's trying to find his fucking shoe. You don't know.
Yeah.
And then goes to court, and all the evidence comes out. Yeah, this guy got hit by a car, lost his pants, his shoe. He wasn't beating on the dog. He was just trying to find his pants and his shoe. The cop comes up, says he looks drunk because he's missing the shoe, so he can't walk a straight line.
Oh my God.
Let's take a picture of him and send it out there to everybody. You don't know what this person has gone through. I mean, shit.
Like,
and they follow up it's some goofy fucking. They've got so many fucking goddamn people peeping out windows and watching everything and calling I'm gonna call this in. Oh my God. You don't know what's happening. It's like if your life's not in danger, if somebody else isn't getting hurt or harmed, then just fucking mind your business. You'll fucking live longer.
Oh my God.
It's bad juju coming back on you too when you do that, man. It's just, it's so fucking annoying.
No,
I just wish they would turn that thing off in this town and any other place that puts that shit out there. I just think it's garbage. I mean, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty.
Yeah.
But in this town, you're not. Your picture's going out there, and even if you got sideswiped by a drunk driver who got away, that's typically how it works out, is the guy that's all hammered and driving down the street like an idiot, he gets home.
Yeah.
He hits you while you're walking your dog. You get tased, lost your shoe, and now you're sitting in there with a ripped up shirt and a black eye and fucking drooling down, fucking bleeding out your nose, and they're saying whatever about you, and you're like, fuck. Then you get out the next day, and everybody, I saw you. What fucking you?
Yeah.
You're like, ugh.
It's
They cut you loose and give you your property. You still got no pants, no shoe. You're walking up the hill with fucking underwear on and fucking who knows what. Oh, then your dog got impounded, so you got to get your dog out. You probably got an animal large charge or something. I mean, it's like.
But it's so true. It's like
you never know what somebody.
You're fucking miserable because that should happen to you, and then.
Well, you never know, and then a guy gets arrested or whatever for a domestic, and he's got a crazy old lady that threw a cup at him and shattered, and he tried to fucking just get away from it, and she locks herself in the back room and starts punching herself because she's psycho, and then calls the police on you, and they show up, and you're just out in the garage minding your business, trying to fucking stay the hell away from her, and next thing you know, they come in and you got to take somebody away, and then boom, there you are. You're a domestic abuser now.
And it's like, what?
And you'll say you're a private business owner. Now all of a sudden you've lost that business because nobody's going to call you. Oh, you heard about him, didn't you? He got arrested for domestic violence, And it's like, in the meantime, it's like, I was just out there. I was changing the oil in the truck, and she came out and threw a glass at me, and then went and punched herself in the face and called the police. I don't know, and you're fucked. Instead of waiting to go to court and letting the truth come out, and I'm all for, hey, you go to court, you get convicted of a charge, then put it out there.
Yeah,
if you got it, if you have to do that. I would say for a misdemeanor, you don't really need to do that. But if it's some kind of a felonious, horrible act, guy gets caught with a bunch of fucking CP or whatever, that's the one thing. And that's why I was talking to somebody about that. I was like, it's like. Putting everybody out there for every little thing you don't know. I mean, it ruins people's lives, and it gives them a bad perception from people, especially in a small town. And that's an annoyance of mine too. Yeah, and I know I've gone off on that before, but it's just dumb. I think it's because people are so bored.
Yeah,
they just have to have something to gossip about. Did you see what someone did? I mean, it's like you really don't have anything better to do. I guess I kind of do that when it comes to like politicians and shit. But those are the type of people though that you should be talking about. Did you see what these idiots did? Because they took on that position, that role. They decided by taking on a position like that, you're going to be put under scrutiny, and rightly so.
No, but let me say that about a year ago, these neighbors of ours came to complain about my father-in-law, that they just wanted to know the reason why I left every Sunday morning, why I was out on the road every Sunday morning.
Why does it matter?
I don't know. But they were just like, well, we just see him every Sunday morning leaving, and he goes by really fast. And it's like, well, yeah, I go to work. It's like, I have a job. Sorry,
what's really fast? I don't see you going hauling ass down. Going the speed limit probably.
And it's like, I have a job. Thank you. It's like,
not that it's their business.
Yeah.
Who cares if you're leaving at 2 a.m? It's nobody's business.
No.
You didn't run into their house, right? Nope. You didn't hit their car. You didn't.
But
it's just still amazing.
Yeah. It's like the small town mentality. It's like, well, we just see that your in-law is like doing this every Sunday morning, and it's like, my father-in-law had to explain to them, like, you know what? He actually works at the liquor store. And they're like, oh my God, he works at the liquor store. It's like, and he lives with you? And my father-in-law was like, yeah.
What's that? What's that mean? You work at the liquor store. Big deal.
My father-in-law is like,
does that mean you're a bootlegger, moonshiner, or what?
My father-in-law was like, and you know what? He's not a Mormon like I am.
Yeah.
And I still accepted him in my home. And they were like, oh my God. It's like, why? And it's like, because we're different. It's like.
And then they say, yeah, guess what? He's from Mexico. Oh my God.
But I swear it's like,
Yeah.
Sorry, it blows your mind that I'm not just like the rest
Well,
of you.
what are they doing up looking out the window on Sunday morning?
Exactly.
I mean, what are they doing? I mean,
I
you ain't
have
got nothing
no
better
idea.
to do?
Yeah.
There he goes again. Write it down, Bill. Write it down. There he goes again. There goes that Mexican. He's up to no good on Sunday. It's like, what the fuck is that? You want to hear funny stories? Okay, this idiot that I'm not even going to call him an acquaintance because he was. Him and his wife were friends of my wife, and so they would come around. I couldn't stand these,
Yeah.
especially him. His wife, she was all right. This guy, he was a little trustafarian fucking jerkbag, and he ended up stabbing his wife, and he's in prison.
Good.
But they decided because what he would do is stay up and play. He was a video gamer. And so he'd stay up all night playing these video games, and whatever. I think it's Tuesdays and Thursdays now. The paper comes out.
Yeah.
And so he lived down in a trailer park, and it was every Tuesday and Thursday he'd see the same vehicle go by. Well, in his paranoia, he decides the thing to do is to go buy guns. So he gets a gun for him and one for his wife. And he discharges one on accident playing his video games one night, and it goes through the trailer, and she's doing laundry. It nearly hits her.
Yeah.
So he almost shoots her, okay? Guy shouldn't have had a gun.
Yeah.
This is I mean, okay, I'm pro 2A and all that, but that dude really probably didn't.
Yeah, no.
You're a scrawny little shithead. So
Yeah.
so they get in a fight, and eventually this out terminates with him stabbing her. But between the discharge of the gun and him stabbing her,
Yeah.
they determined that this person that's driving by every Tuesday and Thursday morning at like 4:30 a.m. when they drop off the paper there's somebody spying on them or something, surveilling them.
Oh my God.
So they come up with this elaborate plan where they're going to wait. She's going to be parked at one end of the little street. He's going to be parked at the other end. And when this guy comes down the street, they're going to both block it off, and he's going to run up with his gun and find out what the fuck is going on. So
God.
they do this. They jam the guy up. He's boxed in, and he goes running up with the gun. And then the fucking dude is like terrified. He's like, I'm just delivering the paper.
Yeah, exactly. It's
And so he doesn't get in any trouble for it. But the next time the guy goes in wherever it was he was working, like he gets in a fight with the paper boy. And then he stabs his wife, and I mean, so this is an example of somebody that's like looking out the window at things. And
Yeah.
I mean, just why would somebody be watching out the window on a Sunday morning? I mean, what are they doing?
I have no
Are they
idea.
just sitting there at the window in the morning when you go to
Yeah.
work? I mean, you probably leave from out there like 7:30, 7:40?
No, I leave my house at like 6:30 just to get there by 7.
Oh, you got to be there at 7 to open.
Yeah.
Okay, but the store doesn't open till 8.
Till 8,
Okay,
yeah.
but you got to go do your opening duties and all that.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're at 6:30 in the morning. They're up watching you
Yeah,
drive by.
exactly. It's like,
What are they doing?
I have no
Why?
idea.
I would think your father-in-law would ask them that question.
Yeah.
Like what are you doing? What are you doing at 6:30 in the morning on Sunday? Let me ask you that. You up looking at the PCO.crime graphics website? I mean,
And you know, I thought that living with my father-in-law was going to be more of a problem, but he actually respects where I work now. He's learned to respect that, so it's like,
well, he should.
yeah,
There's no reason he shouldn't.
no.
I mean, you're not doing anything wrong.
Nope.
I mean, what the hell? It's like, I mean, why would somebody think that just because you work at a liquor store that's a?
Yeah.
I mean, who gives a shit?
No. But he actually likes the fact that I work there now. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, what?
but at first he was like, "Oh my gosh, she works at the liquor store." It's like, no, I'm like, Dad, it's okay. The fact that I work there does not make me a bad person.
He was probably, well, you know what people think though, how that,
Yeah.
especially if you're involved in a church,
Yeah.
how's that going to reflect on the family?
Yeah, it's like,
know? And he's from Mexico. Oh God, that's people in this. That's people in this town.
yeah, sadly,
It
it's
is,
the
man.
truth.
It
Yeah,
is. It is, man. It's crazy. It's like,
yeah.
yeah, what a bunch of fucking goofy nonsense. That's hilarious, man.
It's the sad truth.
It is. It is. It's just crazy. People in this fucking place. It's so goofy.
And it's funny because at the liquor store, people are like, "Oh, you're from Mexico," and they're like, at first they get intimidated, and then once they start talking to me, they're like, "Oh, you're a normal person." It's like,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's like,
Yeah,
I
that's-
have a family just like you. It's
Yeah.
like,
People are so. I mean, it's so ridiculous.
yeah,
It's so funny. I mean, the I don't know. I don't get it, man. It's funny as hell.
It's just like
these are people though that have never been someplace where they've been the minority,
Yeah.
and a place where they've not been like everybody else. These are people that have
Yeah.
lived here their whole life. They've got their screwy wackadoodle opinions on things that, you know, and most of the people here are decent people. They just don't, some people just don't know any better. They've never seen anything else. And fear, I think, drives a lot of that. Is that people are scared of that which they don't understand, rather than trying to understand it.
Yeah, exactly.
Rather than trying to just talk to somebody that's different than you. Like, like, hey, man, you know, like trying to understand who somebody, like, you know, I mean.
Yeah.
I mean, I had friends when I was in Seattle. I'd never met an Ethiopian person before.
Yeah.
I mean, two of my good friends that I'd go out partying with all the time.
Ethiopian people
you know,
are awesome. It's
yeah,
like,
my friend and her cousin, and you know, I mean, we would hang out all the time.
Yeah.
And her family had a restaurant, and I'd never eaten Ethiopian food.
Yeah.
I was like, this is an opportunity.
Yeah.
To get to meet somebody from a different place. I've never been, obviously. And I will
Exactly.
probably never go to Ethiopia, but. We were great friends. I mean, I met him one night and we just hung out and we started hanging out. And I mean, they were talking about Ethiopian food, and I was like, that sounds good, you know.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, you need to come down to a restaurant. And I went down there and ate. And it was awesome food, and her family was great. And I made friends. I made a bunch of friends
You know,
that I
it
never
makes me
met.
laugh that in the old company I worked for, like 90% of the workforce was from Ethiopia, and yet I was from Mexico.
Yeah.
And somehow I became like a boss in the company. That was before my brain injury and everything. But it's like all these people look at me as a boss and everything. And it's like, yet we were all from different places. And yet we still liked each other. Because it's like...
Because you're reasonable people.
Yeah. It's like...
Yeah, that's it. You
Oh
know,
my
and I
God.
think most people are once they have the opportunity to and have a discussion with somebody instead. You know, I mean, I don't know. I've seen a lot of people that have changed their minds about, you know, or not even, you know, just like open their eyes and realize that, you know, we're all one. We're all the same. It doesn't matter. You know, that's what always gets me about the, you know, the whole things with, you know, in the world that we live in, I suppose you have to have borders, but it would be nice if we just didn't, you know? I mean, and now I was doing some research yesterday. We have a reverse immigration thing going on right now. People are leaving the United States and going to Mexico and buying up property because it's getting so bad here.
Yeah.
And to me, if there aren't borders, then people are going to go where you should, as a human being. I mean, you're on Club Rock. You're on this rock. Why shouldn't you just be able to go where you want to go?
Yeah.
I don't understand that.
There's nothing
because you have to have governments and power, and people need to be in charge. And if everybody was just allowed to go where you wanted to go, and you had free markets, if you had something of value that you were exchanging for whatever, I mean, what's wrong with that? Nothing. I mean, to sit there and then you know, have these stereotypical, you know, ideas of people, and just because they're from certain place, well, you heard about those people, they're lazy, or they're thieves, or, you know, it's like you don't even know anybody from there. You know, it's just like to say all Somalians are pirates. You know, come on.
It's like, come on, it's like, fuck.
You know, I mean, or whatever. You know, I mean, just to classify people. You know, if you had no borders, it would be like, hey, I mean, we'd probably be a lot better off without it. Yeah. I mean, governments, or our government was not supposed to be put in place to be tyrannical. If we don't have a tyrannical government, then I don't know what it is we have. Because quite frankly, I see tyranny. You can't do this. You can't. I went and got plates for my old black truck yesterday.
It's like the government wants to control everything. It's like...
Right, and you have to pay for... I got an old 85 truck with 550,000 miles, and it's been sitting in the driveway, so I didn't think about the tags expired at the end of April. And I needed to drive the thing yesterday. And I'm like, oh, shit. So I go down there to get the tags. And I look down the line at the treasurer's office. There's a guy with a California Angels hat on. Of course, I'm wearing my dot. I'm like, right away. I'm like, you know, not really, though.
Yeah.
But I get done. He gets done at the same time. He's down at one end. I'm at the other. I walk out, and he's walking behind me. And the guy cracked me up. He goes, "Did you say thank you?" And I turn around and said, "What?" He goes, "Did you tell him thank you?" I said, "Hell, for just having to go in and drop $97 on a 1985 Ford F-150 that I hardly drive." I said, "Hell no." I said, "I didn't say thank you when I had to go get my driver's license renewed in March and pay $45 for that." I mean, with all the money I've spent in taxes in my life, Shouldn't I be able to go in and get a picture taken and put on a piece of plastic for free? Shouldn't my tax money cover that? But no, they upped the price.
Yeah.
They said, well, it's good for another year now. I'm like, why should I even have to come in here? If I don't get my license suspended, I've been doing this since I was 16. I think I can drive.
Yeah.
I mean, you want me to take an eye test? Fine. But I shouldn't have to pay $45 to go in there and look through the thing and read off the number and then sit there and, I mean, $45 to get a piece of plastic with your picture on it. Well, but now it's called a real ID. It's got the hologram. Ooh, I mean, shouldn't sales tax that you pay on everything you buy in the state, it's an extra, there's 5% put on top of it.
Yeah.
Shouldn't that cover things like driver's licenses and tags on your vehicle and take care of the roads and all? No, everything you do, got to get it. Oh, I know you've been fishing since you were a little kid, but you got to pay this to go fishing. I mean, as a human being on this rock, shouldn't you have the right, if you're hungry, to go out and throw a line in the water and catch something to eat, or go shoot a deer? Now, I know there's people that are going to take advantage.
Yeah.
But good people will solve that. I bet there'd be a lot less poaching if somebody who saw somebody poaching was able to handle that themselves instead of having to go through the rigmarole of the government dealing with it. If that's the issue, I mean, we can all do this thing just fine without them.
Yeah.
I mean, all they do is just take. And even in this, we're in a recession. I don't care what anybody says.
Yeah.
We're in a fucking recession right now.
It's like...
And people are going to be forced to quit work. People are going to be forced to quit their jobs because they can't afford to work. That's going to be the problem. People are not going to be able to afford to work. If you can't afford to work and dipshit says, oh, you're making so much more money now. And, I mean, if the inflation rate is going up higher than what your wage increase is, then you're losing money. I mean, bottom line, that's how that works. And these idiots don't seem to understand it. They don't care because none of it affects them. They just want to grandstand and stay in power and keep getting their fat checks and they're having the lobbyists pay them off. And meanwhile, we're the ones that suffer.
Yeah.
And the thing that bothers me is nobody's willing to stand up and actually take a look at it and say, you know what? Fuck this shit. I'm over it. I've had enough. And I'm not talking about any kind of violence or anything like that. The people that went on the,
But it's both parties. I mean, it's like...
Yeah, it's the same. Yeah. Both parties are the same thing.
Yeah.
You're not getting anything different from any of them. They all go out drinking together. They're all nefarious. They all are involved in, they get involved in things and then they're blackmailed. I mean, they're all being used. And, I mean, I think that's what that guy down there in that island was doing is once you get them down there, take photos of them, boom, now they've got I mean, he came out of nowhere. He wasn't any kind of a stellar student or anything like that. All of a sudden, he was just a guy that had all this property and all this money, supposedly. And he wasn't even a billionaire, They called him a billionaire. He wasn't worth $1 billion. And it was funny. Guess who the executor of his will was? It was the head of security for Bill Gates. Why would that be?
Yeah.
That's kind of weird.
It doesn't make sense.
That's kind of weird. Huh. And Bill Gates like, yeah, well, I really didn't, in his Kermit the Frog voice, I really didn't know him that well. I regret the dinners, and now he's dead. I don't know what to say. I was like, what'd you just say? I mean, the lady on PBS put him on the spot, and that was his answer. Oh, now he's dead, and there was really nothing new with that. And she's like, well...
that doesn't solve anything.
We had a few dinners, and I was like, why'd your wife of all these years divorce you?
Yeah.
What's going on there, Billy boy? I mean, and then he came out and they were talking about the vaccines. I'm not going to get into that because I don't...
Yeah.
You can look that up yourself, people. It's out there. You can see what Bill Gates has to say about all that. But anyway, I don't know, man. It's a crazy, fucked up world.
Yeah, it is.
I'm about ready to move to Mexico.
No, hold on. Don't go there so quick. It's just even... It's like 20 times worse than it is up here, so...
yeah, maybe. I don't know. I'm sure it is.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But we can go on vacation there. It's fine.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Like I said, I want to go.
Yeah.
I definitely want to go. I want to see Mexico City, for sure. That's a fascinating place. But
yeah, we should plan a vacation for like November and then just
go. Is that a good time?
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be fun. It's the altitude there too. There's got to be huge mountains.
Oh yeah, no, the altitude in Mexico is like 11,000 feet.
Are there ski resorts and stuff?
Nope.
Really? At that altitude, there's not a lot of snow.
Nope.
So it's like it's just dry.
Yeah.
Wow, no snow.
No snow.
That's crazy. I guess you're right there. I mean, how far from the?
Yeah,
I'm trying to think about
like
the distance
super
from the
close
equator.
To the equator, yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. There's got to be some. Yeah,
I mean, there is maybe a little bit
Are
of
the-
snow, but it's like just
what's the
nothing.
in high mountains like that? What is the like as far as tree? Is it like a high jungle, or is it? Are we talking the same altitude? Like we're
depends,
talking pine trees, or
if you head south of Mexico City, it's like a jungle.
right?
The closer you get to the Caribbean, it's more like a jungle. But it's like if you keep going north, it turns more into.
Is it like the 11,000-foot mountains? Are they comparable to the mountains here? Like pine trees, or what kind of trees are they?
No pine trees.
Really, leaf trees?
Yeah.
Huh. What about like the animals? Like wildlife up in that area.
There used to be deer, but that's like like 30 years ago.
Yeah. Wow. That's great. I'm gonna have to do some research on this.
Yeah.
I'd like to look up the mountain area around that and see, because I mean the only thing I've ever seen about Mexico City is obviously life in Mexico City, and the art and the culture and stuff. And I mean the muralists. I mean that's some amazing.
That is awesome. That is amazing. That's like.
I used to have a coffee table book that was just Mexico City, and it was just the muralists, So I mean, you could sit there and flip through it, and I mean, there's some amazing stuff. But
no, muralist and everything, it's great. It's all amazing art that you can go to a museum and admire.
Yeah.
But that's it. It's like.
Well, I definitely want to go check that out for sure.
No, it's totally worth it.
I'd like to go a number of places, but right now, I mean, it's just kind of been nice being here out of the bullshit. I mean, I would not want to be living in a city right now. I mean,
no.
These people are nuts. People are crazy, man.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just it's violent and it's goofy and it's just unfounded and it's just dumb and it's all been orchestrated.
See, it's like I've been thinking like if we fly to Mexico, we'd fly to like a beach, and then from there take a bus. And then stop by my parents' house in Querétaro, and then a couple days later is like go down to Mexico City.
Yeah.
And just admire that. Yeah.
Go eat and drink and be merry, and that sounds like a good time to me. Don't tempt me with a good time.
Why?
Because I'll take you up on it.
Sounds good.
Well, we should probably cut it off. We've been going for an hour and 15 minutes.
Yeah.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for joining us tonight. All 3.2 of you. We love you.
Yeah.
You can check the show out now. I'm going to put it up on Spotify right now. So we've got Spotify, and it's got video now. So you can check out the video and audio. We're coming out on Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, and there's a number of other ones that are on the tip of my tongue right now, but I cannot think of them. But we're going through Anchor.fm. And, if you're thinking about doing this, that's a great company to go through. It's free. It's real easy to use their whatever you want to call it, their platform, I guess. And they distribute everything for you. And, they might put a little spot for their company out there, which is not really that big of a deal.
No.
So anyway, there it is. Anything else, Ricardo?
No, I think that covers it. I mean, I just expressed how I was feeling tonight, which is frustrated, pissed off at Biden and Republicans, Democrats. Is like everyone is like,
it's a mess.
Yeah.
That's why I put hashtag walk away. So think about it, folks. If we just walk away from it, just let them have their thing and we just go do our thing because we know what to do. So with that in mind, be good at it, and all things be kind and do no harm. And we're out.
Yeah.
All right. Peace and
see ya, guys.
Peace and chicken grease. And we'll leave you with a little meme of our fearless leader, the guy.
Fuck.
Another day of wasting any time. I've got a lot to say, can't hold it in this time.